let's start with Chelsea, as always. Let's start with Chelsea. The man has not played any match. Triple O. Thank God we have a Chelsea fan in the studio. The man has not played any match. He wasn't even involved in the international break. And then he's injured. Apparently, Chelsea are afraid, or they fear, that Romeo Lavia could be out for up to 6 weeks with an ankle injury. So he may have to wait until October for his Blues debut. Now, he suffered the injury in training last week, and then the scan has been done, and there's a fear that he might be out for up to 6 weeks. Early indication following the tests are that Lavia suffered some ligament damage and a problem serious enough to spark concerns. He will be sidelined for at least a month and a half. Triple O. Again, it's not what you want at the start of the season when your season is not going too well. Injuries left, right, and center.
Well, injuries left, right, and center, and something must be. I don't know how to put it. It looks like Chelsea are cursed with injuries, because if you look at last season as well, the season turned upside down when key players, very important players, started picking up injuries with James Shea, the Christian Pulisic of this world, and the likes. And this season also, we saw Chelsea were cruising in the preseason. They were getting the job done in the preseason, even though it was just preseason. Key to that, their star was Christopher Nkunku, picked up a knock. 4 months is out, and they struggled. Now, a player they got, actually, when they got Lavia was just coming off a knock.
Okay.
It wasn't as if he was completely fit. He was just coming off a knock on his way back.
Hold on. The Pochettino told us that he's not just up to scratch at the level. They didn't say he had a knock. He was not fit and up to scratch at the level that Chelsea would like him to be.
That's what I'm saying. We are saying the same thing. Okay. He was coming off a knock. He just returned from a knock when Chelsea got him. So when you just return, you still need some level of fitness, match happiness, and all of that. And that was what they were working on. He was supposed to come back after the international break, but just during the international break, during one of the training sessions, he picked up another knock. It did not look like something serious, but eventually it became something very, very serious, and Chelsea are going to miss him for another 6 weeks.
6 weeks. That's a month and a half. Anyway, we'll see how well Chelsea do without their £85 million midfielder. Let's go to Manchester United. We'll not dwell too much on the Anthony situation, because, like we said, it's an ongoing investigation, and the inquiry is going on. We'll leave it alone, but we hear he's been told to stay away from United until everything is sorted out. But what I want to talk about with United is Jadon Sancho. Apparently, he's set for showdown talks with the manager himself, Erik ten Hag, on the situation last week. And I read somewhere that Erik ten Hag, I don't know how true it is. It could be Erik ten Hag propaganda or United propaganda, I don't know. But they said, what I read was that the reason Erik ten Hag seemingly threw him under the bus is that he has tried everything with Sancho. He has put the arm around his shoulder. He has, tried to cuddle him and bring him close. He has done everything, and he did what he did to light a fire in his belly and make him to fire him up for the season ahead. Again, I don't know where you stand on this, buddy.
To light up a fire in someone's belly, there's several ways you can do it. And like I've always said about ETH, it's a case of double standards. We watching performances week in, week out will tell you that Anthony hasn't really done enough to warrant a starting bet in this Manchester United team. And whereas you have a Pelestri who will come up the bench and you will see the spark, you see what he can actually bring to the United team. And at the end of the day, the fact that he made it public made everything look so ugly.
No, could it be that?
Case of, see, Anthony, there's nothing wrong in calling the player for the fact that you've not improved on performances. You won't be starting games going forward.
So wait,
is it like he wasn't even starting anyway?
So wait. Could it be that Erik ten Hag has done all of that? Like I said, he allowed him go to the mountain to pray and everything, and then allowed him to come back. So
we keep saying
he's treated him like his son and everything, but that son treatment is not working anymore. And he said, okay, let's light that fire and
Anthony,
see.
Look at the treatment of Maguire as well. I don't think it's the duty of the coach to even come out and say, Maguire is no longer the captain of Manchester United. There's several ways you can go about it. Yes, the player also went public to talk about it. Even if the player did, as a manager, you manage the situation properly. For Ten Hag, I do feel there are moments when he hasn't handled this thing very well. They should have the shutdown talk, because I heard Dortmund are back into taking back to Germany. Yeah. If he decides to leave in January, good for the club, good for the player as well.
So how do you think this showdown talk will go. Dortmund are renewed, but as a United fan, you supported the club for years. We've all seen at our own clubs we support how all these showdown talks go. But can you just give us a pointer as to how you think, in your own opinion,
I'm not
it will go? I know, but how do you think it will play out eventually?
I think while Anthony is still out due to his wahala, I do feel the team needs Sancho right now. But again, ETH will give his blessing if Sancho decides to leave in January. I think that's how you go.
Very quickly, just give your opinion on this.
But for how much, really? United spent about 70 million to get Sancho in, and they've barely gotten anything out of Sancho. He struggled first 3 seasons. He struggled really. His numbers are even nothing to look at. So for Sancho, I think it's just like Lukaku. It's bad investment. United have to find a way to get rid of Sancho. I don't think even if he gets that chance, the man is not even in the right mental space to play for Manchester United. He's a good player, no doubt, but he's just found himself at a club where he just cannot give him his best. So he probably can go back to Dortmund and reignite his career, but at what price?
All right, we'll see how that goes. Let's take another word from our sponsor, OneXBet. Of course, we'll come back and we'll still talk some more. Send your calls and your messages in. You can join us on Facebook as well at Inspiration FM 92.3. Read your comments after this break. Let's just quickly wrap up with the news items with this one from Harry Kane. He's opened up about why he really left Tottenham Hotspur. He said that the challenge of change might help him improve, to offer some marginal mental gains. That's what he said. That's what Gareth Southgate told Harry Kane before he moved, and Harry Kane agrees. Now let me read some comments, some quotes from Harry Kane. It says, that was pretty much the main reason for leaving. There's a lot of talk about trophies, and of course I want to win trophies, but that wasn't the only reason I went to Bayern Munich. I felt that I needed to be playing at the highest level if I ultimately wanted to improve. If I want to be around the best strikers and best players in the world, then I need to be playing in the Champions League and fighting for titles. I just thought last season went well for me personally, but not for Spurs as a team. I felt it was time to take another step and take another challenge. The thing I have felt most since I've been at Bayern Munich is pressure. Is the pressure? It's not just wanting to win. You have to win. He makes a good point actually at the end of the day. It's a different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Yes, you want to win. It's all well and good to want to win, but at Spurs, you just want to win. At Bayern, you have to win.
Yeah. There are levels to these things now. Because at the end of the day, it's not just trying to make it to the Champions League. It's about participating in the Champions League and like you say, competing and trying to win it. So far, Harry Kane is thought about it carefully. Whether Southgate discussed the situation with him or not, I think his mind was actually made up. But it was just a case of how will it be if I work out on this team. But it had to happen, and it's nice that he's in a team like Bayern Munich, and hopefully all of those dreams do come through eventually, because he's a fabulous striker. Absolutely. And if at the end of the day we look back at his career and there are no trophies to really talk about, then it becomes a big talking point. It
becomes a big problem. Triple O, your opinion very quickly on this before we move on to something else.
Well, I think.
Oh, hold on. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I think Harry Kane has just made the perfect decision. Whether you like it or not, he's going to win trophies at Bayern, and just the difference between Bayern and Tottenham is it's a huge gap. Yeah. It's a huge gap. They last won the Champions League in 2020. They are yearning to win the Champions League. They've changed their structure. They've changed the people at the ends of affair in terms of the board. Brought in new coach, and they are looking at returning to winning the Champions League. They have a Champions League winning manager in Thomas Tuchel, even though tactically things have not been going very smoothly for Bayern this season. But nonetheless, I mean, here you see Bayern, you see Tottenham. Only the bar Tottenham.
All right, let's take some messages from all the things we talked about earlier before we go into our major issue for today. This one here is from Iman from Magodo, who says, "Good morning, guys. I don't think there was any other way the manager could have managed this Sancho Palava after all he had done for this same Sancho. Good players response to their manager. Good players respond to their manager on the pitch and not on social media. You should pack out Joe." That's Iman from Agodo. I'll give you a chance to respond, buddy. Chevy Smart says, "I don't know if you guys have noticed something about big money players. They don't seem to flourish most times." Thank you very much. Good morning, guys. What is Bode saying? Ten Hag has tried for Sancho. Do you know how much that guy earns? Come on, guys. He has no right to respond that way. That's Donatus from Ikorodu. And knock after knock. Triple O, you sure say Chelsea players know they train on top Astro Tell Todd Boney to bring back Eva Canero and feed those Chelsea players with more cow leg, Nkwobi, and good pepper soup, Amrabat can be a very good winger for Manchester United. Let's let Body respond to the United issues first of all.
I don't know why we're getting so emotional. If he earns so much money, the club decided to pay him that much. And I don't see, Anthony, at the end of the day, a lot of times we want to base things on what we are told. And ever since ET joined, I haven't seen a happy Sancho. And possibly he's one of those players where with every mistakes, it gets criticized. And the same United fans that are saying, oh, Sancho shouldn't react in this certain way. We've seen Anthony play week in, week out. I'm not about the statistics. I'm about what you do
on the pitch
through the entire duration of a football game. It's not about trying corners that you try 10 when you enter. So see, possibly the manager has been too hard on him.
Wait, that's what some of the guys on our WhatsApp are saying. They're saying that Erik ten Hag has tried for it. He's brought him close. He allowed him go and clear his head in the mountain and everything. If it's not working, then you try the whip and the ice cream.
Sometimes some managers tend to assume.
Okay.
They tend to assume, okay, maybe this is what is wrong with this guy. Okay, send him to the mountain for fitness reasons or whatever it is. But if that hasn't worked, you can always look for ways. My own point is,
so the fire in the belly approach is not it.
Anthony, my point is, yes, there can be. You can try the fire in the belly approach, but it's all about how you go about that approach. There was no need to have said anything in that presser.
You enjoyed this video? Hit the subscribe button for more. Leave a comment and like. Thank you.